Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here today. Thank you very much.
Before I get started, I want to give some thanks and some shout outs. First and foremost, back home, my operations manager, Kirk Bailey. Kirk, I know you'll eventually be listening to this. He got me to this place where I'm at today to have this slide deck. Kirk, I know we went a lot of back and forth, so I just appreciate you hanging in there with me. I want to give a shout out to Skip Newberry from the Technology Association of Oregon. He got me connected to the chairman of OBA, Jeff Gauss, and that's also why I'm here today. I'd like to give thanks to the OBA staff, Peter, Ann, Sarah, all the volunteers. If you weren't doing your thing, I wouldn't get this opportunity to be talking to you all today as well. My man Roland back there, Roland Solis, you can wave. There's Roland. He's doing the videography. Very short notice, he came down to Corvallis to help me out and shoot this for me. So Roland, I appreciate it. And lastly, thanks to you all for showing up and listening to me speak. So this is my story. When you encounter people in your daily life, every single person has a story. My name is Tony Seminary, and let me share mine. I grew up in Siletz, Oregon. It's about an hour from here west of Corvallis. I went to school at the University of Oregon, as you could probably tell and have heard. And then from there, I moved up to Portland, and I started my professional career. My hometown is very small, simple roots, population 1,000 people. I'm Native American on my mom's side. I'm Caucasian on my dad's side. I am a girl dad. I have a 3-year-old toddler. That is the apple of my eye. My girlfriend and I raised her up in Southeast Portland. As I mentioned, I'm a U of O grad. I've got 25 years of business experience, mostly in technical recruiting and talent acquisition. My side hustle, I've got a lot of years experience in real estate investing. I'm currently the founder and CEO of IT Motives. I'm a board member of 2 different boards, Technology Association of Oregon and Blacks in Technology Portland. And you all are in luck today. Networking is one of my favorite topics to talk about. My pronouns are he, him, and his. I'm going to make some assumptions today. This is your first introduction to networking. You are interested to learn about the fundamentals of networking. You're here to give me your undivided attention. No devices turned on, no cell phones and things of that nature. You're willing to come to the stage and actually be an actual participant to help me with this presentation. You have friends, and you know how to make friends, and you're interested to learn about how to make friends and interested to make new friends. That is one of the key things with networking that you will hear me repeat over and over and over. So besides teaching you the fundamentals about networking, I'll ask you to come to the stage specifically and introduce yourself to me. Really, really simple. The other thing I would love if you would do is have at least 2 of you come to the stage and we'll simulate a real quick networking event. So what's in it for you? I'm not going to be a talking head for the next 40 to 45 minutes or however long that you'll let me be up here for. You'll have takeaways that you can use for the rest of your life. And you'll be, in some cases, light years ahead of other adults that may not know a whole lot about networking. You're going to have a leg up on them. I will also leave you with a couple resources, this slide deck and presentation, and a link to the IT Motives website. There's 2 places on the site that talk about networking, one of which was a presentation very similar to this one that I gave to students at Western Oregon University. So before we dive into networking, let me ask you a question. Do you all know who Phil Knight is? Do you all know who Phil Knight is? Okay? And if you don't know, that's okay. Phil Knight is a billionaire entrepreneur that started a company that most of you recognize called Nike. And the reason I bring up Phil Knight is because every single one of you in this room have something to offer Phil Knight. I guarantee it. I don't know what it is, but you do. The point is, if you have something to offer Phil Knight, you have something to offer every single person you come in contact with out there. Also, something to consider. One day, I might work for you all. You're the future leaders of the business world. This is a business camp, right? You might be CEOing, you might be the leader of your company, and I, Tony Seminary, might work for you. So I'm here to network with you as much as you're here possibly to network with me. Just know that you matter. I love this quote in the bubble. Your network is directly related to your net worth. Love that quote. Networking has given me so much in this life. It's been instrumental to a lot of the success that I've had. It'll be crucial for you in your professional development. I assure you of this. You will do this over and over and over. You'll find jobs. You'll make business connections. You'll make money. It will happen. There is a little bit of black magic with networking. You're like, okay, so I just go out and talk to people and I get their contact information and I reach out to them and then we're like friends. And how does all this work? Just have faith. It works, but it takes time. Again, the mindset, networking equals making friends. That's what you're doing when you go out there and talk to people. Well, let's define networking. It's a noun, the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. So it's either professional or social. Networking is the keystone, and around it are a variety of different benefits you get from it. One is your personal brand. You have to be your best advocate in today's business world. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Personal branding. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Finding a job. Not just your first job, but the next one and the next one and the next one. As the gentleman, what is your name, sir?
Andrew.
Andrew, thank you. As Andrew said, 80% of positions out there are not even posted. You find them through your network. Making money. There's nothing wrong with making money. I like making money. Networking is a great way to make money. There is a philanthropic aspect of networking. You're helping others. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And building long-term relationships that really matter. You can tell how much I love networking. Let me repeat though. Your network is directly related to your net worth. Put the fun in fundamentals. Fundamentals are kind of thought of as not as cool and they're not as splashy. Hogwash. Fundamentals are key to your success. I'm going to teach you the fundamentals of how to network. Let me give you a story from back in the day. I used to play basketball. As you can tell, I am not the tallest guy in the world. I am not the strongest guy in the world. I do not jump that well. Those are kind of key things to have when you want to play the sport of basketball. I always got on the court though. How did I do it? The fundamentals. I knew the fundamentals of basketball. I am right-handed. I could dribble equally well with my left hand. When I was going down the court, my eyes were always looking towards the other basket. It was never like this. When I took the ball and threw you a pass, it was a chest pass. I tried to make it perfect every single time. And when I would shoot at the charity stripe, my free throw was the same every single time. The fundamentals allowed me to be on the court in spite of my shortcomings as a so-called athlete. Fundamentals, huge. Okay, so prior to the event, you want to get your mind right. You want to get into character, right? Practice your elevator pitch, incredibly important. It's also what you might be referred to as your personal brand. Do your homework to see who else might be attending the networking event. This is key. Know what your goals are. What do you want out of this networking event? I can assure you, you're not there just to show up and say, oh, hi, I'm Tony, how's it going? Oh, I'm Sally. Oh, nice to meet you. You've got goals, you've got reasons. Behind every intention, behind every action, there's an intention. What is your intention? Know it. Coach of mine once said, you look sharp, you play sharp. Dress the part when you go to a networking event. First impressions. My man, number 7, they were here early. I'm giving you a plug. Show up early, not on time. 15 minutes ideally. A mentor of mine once said, to be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. To be late is to be forgotten. Don't be forgotten. Show up early, not on time. And then take a buddy with you. When you go out into the world of networking, invariably, you're going to want to ditch on the networking event. You will. Maybe you've had a hard day at school. Maybe you've had a hard day at work. Typically, these are after hours, 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night. And you're going to be like, man, Peter, I'm just tired today. I don't feel like going. I'm hungry. I got yelled at in class by the boss. Coffee spilled on me first thing in the morning. It was just not a good day. But Peter's going to hold me accountable when I reach out to him a half an hour before the event and say, hey man, I don't think I'm gonna make it. He's like, over my dead body. Take a buddy. This whole notion of personal branding, elevator pitch, it was discussed earlier this morning, I think at the 11:20 breakout. It's sometimes referred to as an elevator pitch. The idea is this. You get on an elevator, you get into it, you see someone right next to you, you're bumping elbows, you say hello. And they say, hey, what do you do? Or who are you? And if they're going to you're on the first floor, they're going to the second floor, guess what? You got a short period of time to tell them who you are and what you do. You might be getting off at the third floor, but they're getting off at the second. So you got one floor, and you got to make it succinct, and you got to make it memorable. That's your elevator pitch or your personal brand, however you want to talk about it. And it doesn't have to be robotic. It's not going to be cookie cutter the same every single time, but you kind of want to have kind of an idea of how you want to introduce yourself. Okay, here I am, 16 years old, right here, my man. This is my elevator pitch or my personal brand from way back in the day. Tony Seminary from Siletz, Oregon. I play football at Toledo High School. I love sports, I love football. I also love writing for the yearbook and the newspaper. I want to go to U of O and get a journalism degree, and one day I would love to be a sports reporter. That was me at 16 years old. This is me today. Huge difference, but I still have a personal brand. I'm Tony Seminary, the CEO and founder of IT Motives. We're a Native American-owned company, and we do technical recruiting for our clients in 3 distinct ways, right? And on and on and on. My passion, right here, big passion. My kid, that's pretty memorable. People may not remember the whole, oh yeah, you do, fractional recruiting and all this. You talk about something a little more personal, like my kiddo, they'll probably remember it. Love that kid, by the way. Again, the mindset is, if you forget everything else I say, as this talking head up here, you're like, what's this guy Tony know? Just keep your mindset as simple as, I want to make a friend. It's not like your buddy next door, the person you've known for 5 years. A little different, but it's still, the concepts are the same. You're just making friends. Tracy and I are friends. We got to know each other through networking in Portland, in the tech community. Right? Yeah. Make friends. That's the key. When you're at the event, one, just relax and be cool. Just be yourself. Be authentic. Don't try to be anything you're not. But very fundamentally, you're going to go and introduce yourself, and it's shake hands, warm smile, and hi, I'm Tony, right? Small talk's a great way to kind of ease into a conversation. I call them icebreakers, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Ask the person's story and what you can do for them. That's key. Ask the person's story and what can you do for them. Share yours and share what you need. It's okay to say, I need to get introduced to someone like this. Can you help me? Get their contact info and then follow up pretty shortly thereafter. The sooner the better. So your greeting, right? Handshake, smile, introduction. That'll be the first thing you do. And for the love of God, do not give a wet noodle handshake. My God, I hate those things. Give it a firm handshake, confident, make it count. Right there. I had this account manager I used to work with. He'd come like this. I don't know why, but it always worked. And as soon as he'd get, it was like right there. We always locked in. It was perfect. Don't give that wet noodle handshake. Firm and confident. Thanks. That's my PSA for wet noodle handshakes. I could use a couple volunteers. I told you earlier. Could use some participation. Oh, I got a hand up. I love it. I got another one. Can I get a couple come down to the stage? Yeah, look at that. I like this. Hi, what's your name?
Lizzie.
Lizzie, nice to meet you. Nice handshake. Thank you very much. You're good. Thank you, Lizzie.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
That's all I need. Hi, what's your name?
Hey there, Aiden Anderson. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Aaron. Yeah, nice to meet you. What's your name?
Eli.
Eli, Tony Seminary. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Leah.
Leah, nice to meet you. Thank you very much. Sometimes I'll do the politician handshake. See how I couldn't even help myself? You know, like I'll do like that. You know, you can do that if you want. I have this one friend of mine. He'll do, can we do it again? This is how he shakes hands. He grabs the forearm. You know why he does that? Thank you, my brother. You know why my friend does that, and I've never forgot that, is back in the medieval days, people had long sleeves. They were looking for weapons. Did you have like a knife here, you're just going to take it out, stab me. Rob Winhausen, I love you, man. Another duck, by the way. Love all those ducks. Go Ducks. Small talk. By the way, thank you everybody for coming down to the stage. I really appreciate you, seriously. This is really important. It's those, I mentioned an icebreaker. The idea with the icebreaker is the ice is the tension that kind of exists when you initially meet someone for the first time. It's real. And so to break that ice, right, you want to have some of those, hi, how are you doing today? How's the weather? Weather, it'll be huge. And am I right? You'll talk about weather all the time in the business world. Yeah, how's the weather? Especially in Portland. Oh, 30th day of rain, my God. Feels like I'm in biblical terms with Noah's Ark, right? I mean, the weather, you'll talk about it. It's just a universal thing, everybody does. How's OBA camp going for you? What are you doing this weekend? What's your plans for the summer? The reason that you use these icebreakers, here's the why behind it. The why is you don't want to just jump right into, hi, I'm Tony Seminary and I do technical recruiting. No, that would be off-putting. You'd be like, whoa, back up, back up. You want to ease into that conversation. That's what those icebreakers are for. Do not, please, talk about money, religion, or politics. Only do that with the folks that you really know. Don't do it with people you just met. Do not go there. Okay, so stories. Stories are huge. Like I said at the outset, everybody's got one. I've got one, you've got one, you've got one. We all have a story. We came from someplace. After the small talk, after you've broken the ice, ask them about their story. And once you do, be present. Do y'all know what I mean by being present? Who said yes? Who do you got? Anybody? Yeah, what do you got? What's present?
Just being attentive and not like wavering.
Right. What's your name?
Brooks.
Brooks. So when we're talking, I'm not like, oh, hey, Brooks, yeah, how's it going? Yeah, cool. Tell me about your story. How would you feel? You'd be like, what's this clown doing? He's on his phone. When Brooks is talking, I'm listening. He's like, some of you might know this, back in the day, he's like E.F. Hutton. When he talks, I listen. Plain and simple. I'm present for Brooks because he's telling me his story. Paraphrase what Brooks said. Do you mind if I keep using your name? Okay with that?
Go ahead.
Paraphrase what Brooks said. Oh, Brooks, great. It sounds like you're really interested in this, or this is your passion, or whatever the case might be that Brooks is interested in. Ask them open-ended questions and then think of ways that you can help Brooks out. I got someone on their device right there. Hello, right there. Ask open-ended questions. Keep that conversation going. And be sure then, after that, to share your story and ask for what you need. Make it a two-way street, it's okay, but first put the focus on them. After you've built the rapport, ask for their contact information, just really simply. And then find out what their preferred method is. They might give you an email address, they might give you a phone number, they might give you what have you. Find out how they like to be contacted. And save that contact in your phone like it was a piece of gold. Get their first name and last name, put it into your phone, and then maybe even put a few notes next to it. Has 2 brothers, loves to basket weave, skis in the winter, Oregon Duck fan, what have you. You get the point. Because the reason is you might need to refer back to those notes for a future conversation. Next time I see Ann, I might say, hey Ann, how's the basket weaving going? Do you think she would say, boy, that guy didn't really listen to me? What she'll probably say is, wow, how the heck did he remember that? Well, I kind of cheated a little bit because I put it into my phone under some notes. Ann doesn't need to know that. Post-networking, really simple. Reach out to them. There's the word networking has a word in it, within it. What is that word? Work. Work. You've worked hard to go out and network, build that rapport, get that contact information, follow through. And thank them for their time. If you offer to help them, make sure you do good on that. Say, what can I do for you, Brooks? I know we talked, whatever that specific thing was. If Brooks offered to help me, I'll call in that favor. Say, hey, Brooks, you mentioned you could do this for me. Does the offer still stand? Pose it that way. Don't assume that Brooks can still help me. Give Brooks an out on that. Okay, so this is where rubber meets the road. This is what I call showtime. Peter is going to come to this part of the stage. I said stage, but it's probably not really a stage. And we are going to simulate a networking event as if it was the first time that we have ever met. Just really, really simple. I'm going to be Tony. Peter's going to be Peter. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, Peter. Pleased to meet you.
Peter, Tony Seminary. Nice to meet you. Yeah. How's it going today?
We're having a really good day here.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What's so good about it?
Well, we're all having a lot of fun. We're learning a lot, and I love education, so having a great time.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell by the smile on your face, yeah.
What do you do? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm a recruiter. I run a company up in Portland called IT Motives. We help companies find tech talent, essentially. Yeah.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
Quite a long time, almost since dirt was new, it feels like, about 25 plus years. And it's great. I love it. It's all about people, and you get to know people, build long-term relationships. But yeah, I very much, I love what I do, and I'm super passionate about it. How long have you been associated with OBA?
Oh, OBA, probably about a decade.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was an advisor with OBA down in Eugene in 2017, and have been working with them ever since, doing design work and course development, and just participating here in camps. It's great.
This is amazing, amazing event. Thank you so much for having me here. What do you love about it? You know, you've been with OBA for over a decade now. Why do you keep coming back?
All of these folks, and just sharing experiences and knowledge and information about how to be successful in business and help your community.
Yeah, fantastic. Peter, is there anything I can do for you?
Probably help find all these people good jobs.
Very good, very good. Yeah, that is something that's right up my alley. Absolutely. You know, I think maybe it might make sense if we could have maybe a little bit of a longer conversation, if you're open to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
When did you have it in mind? Maybe next week?
Absolutely. Would it be okay if I could get your contact information?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going, or
Thank you very much, Peter.
You're welcome.
Yeah. That's what networking is, really. I mentioned earlier fundamentals and me playing basketball at a young age and all those kinds of things. Gosh, fundamentals, whew. So here's the definition of networking. You don't need to memorize it, you get the idea. Prior to the event, make sure you practice that spiel, elevator pitch, personal brand, however you want to call it. Do your homework. Know what you want out of it. So important. Look good, show up early, and take a friend. When you're at the event, just kind of as a recap, handshake, smile, introduction. Okay? Be yourself. The small talk, those conversation starters, icebreakers, hugely important. Find out their story, find out what you can do for them, share your story, get their contact info, and then reach out within 24 hours. You're probably getting tired of me saying this, and that's okay. I'm going to repeat myself because I do that. That's kind of who I am. Go out with the mindset to make friends. Make friends. That simple. Here are some suggestions for being able to put this into practice out there in the world. So you've got your elevator pitch down. You feel good about it. Wednesday and Friday of this week, 2 great opportunities to network with all of your peers here. You are all leaders. You're all going to be the leaders of companies and of people. That's why you are here today and this week. So start here. Oops, my bad. You might think it's kind of funny, but yes, barbecues, family, cookouts. Go to these. I have a pretty decent sized family, and they bring their friends. There's so many new people that you can meet at these. It's perfect. It's the summertime. When you go back to school in the fall, clubs or associations of any kind, and if they don't exist at your high school, ask somebody there to organize it. Ask somebody there that you, like your principal, that you would like to organize it. Be the leader. I heard this brought up, actually, LinkedIn from earlier. A couple places you can go on social media. Technology Association of Oregon isn't exactly social media, but you get the point. Meetup.com, you have to be 18 years or older. LinkedIn, you have to be 16 years or older. Technology Association of website, or Technology Association of Oregon website, great place to go to find different events. Other ways or places to network, ask your parents, your guardians, whoever, ask an adult. Ask the adults here at OBA. And then really anywhere where people get together, grocery stores, church, the gym, you name it. Lots of different places for you to start practicing. This is huge for me. If you've never heard of Toastmasters, you need to get to know Toastmasters. It's a great way to invest in yourself, and it's really, really dirt cheap, relatively speaking. It's nearly a 100-year-old international organization. They have clubs everywhere. And the idea of Toastmasters, you're not getting a piece of toast or something like that. The idea is they teach you how to be a public speaker, and a really good one if you go to enough of your clubs that you belong to. So you join a club, they typically are weekly meetings, and you do public speaking in front of your peers. Make you a little nervous? Yeah, maybe. But it will increase your self-confidence and self-worth like never before. There is a 14 to 18-year-old group for the youth leadership programs, so you can join. I'm assuming everybody here is at least 14 or older. And the other thing about Toastmasters that ties into my conversation here with you today, they are great for networking. Most people don't think of Toastmasters and networking. They're great for networking because you are talking about yourself in these little mini speeches that you give, and everybody else is too in your club. So you get to know other people really well. Great for networking. Okay, gang. This is the other part that I need people to come to the stage for. If you're so brave, and if you're not, that's okay. I would love 2 volunteers to come up to the stage and simulate a networking event based on a little bit about what you've heard earlier this morning at the 11:20 breakout and what I've talked about today. One second. I just need 2 volunteers, and what I would prefer is 2 people that don't know each other. So I have 2 volunteers. Anybody? Okay, I got you. And how about you? Come on up. Give them a round of applause for being so bold. Wow. Nice. Okay, 1 second here. Peter, I think, is going to bring us a microphone. You 2 don't know each other, right? Okay, good.
I think they both just cracked that. No, there's one.
Share it.
I'll be that. Okay. Test. Can you all hear me? Okay. All right. So I know this might be a little awkward because I'm right here, but you go ahead. Actually, I think I'll probably pull back and just let you 2 talk. So we're at a networking event, just kind of talking. You bump into each other. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Parker.
Hi, I'm Julia. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. What school do you go to?
That's amazing. Good job. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Wow, that was fantastic. I'm being told I just got a few minutes left. That's what you do at a networking event. Ask open-ended questions. Look people in the eye. You're not like this. Hi, how's it going? I'm Tony Seminary. Oh, great. What do you do for a living? God, no. Right here. Right here. Thank you, you 2. Really, Parker, right?
Yeah, Parker.
What was your name? I'm sorry. Julia. Thank you very much for being amazingly brave souls. That takes a lot of gumption to stand in front of your peers and do something that you've never done before. That's amazing. So Julia and Parker, thank you very much. Another round of applause. Give it up. Okay, gang, we're wrapping up here. Action items, your to-do list. Come up with and dial in that elevator pitch. Again, it's not robotic, it's not cookie cutter, but just kind of have that foundational elevator pitch. Put yourself out there. The hardest part about getting started is getting started. Just get yourself out there. If your elevator pitch isn't dialed in, just get out there. This one NFL football coach, you probably heard of him because you probably played the video game, named John Madden. Anybody know John Madden? Rest in peace. Yeah, a lot of you do. John Madden had a famous quote. His quote was, "Don't worry if the horse is blind, just load the wagon." What he's referring to is, if you don't know everything there is to know about networking, don't worry about it. Just get out there and network. You'll figure it out. Get out there. Join Meetup when you become 18. It's a great place to meet other like-minded people. There's lots of different groups out there on Meetup. I've met a lot of people through Meetup. LinkedIn, when you're 16, get out there. It's the premier social media platform for business professionals. I will bet a whole lot of money every single one of the OBA staff and volunteers have a LinkedIn account. That's where I live all day, every day. Go to these 3 different websites. Technology Association of Oregon. Give a shout out for them. Blacks in Technology PDX and PDX Women in Technology. They're always hosting events. Most of them are free.
If you need a buddy for TAO or PDX Women in Tech, I'm your buddy.
There you go. Thank you, Tracy. There you go. There you go. Join a Toastmasters group. And then the last couple things, come down to the stage and get my business card if you'd like one. And then connect with the adults here at OBA. They know a lot of people. They have a lot of sage advice. Gang, there is my contact information. I so appreciate you giving me your undivided attention. Thank you so much.